Hello and welcome to Front Row Racing. It's Thursday night. It's time for the World Series Round 5 in Spain. We could be on for a fantastic race here, or we could be on for just as much carnage as we saw in the previous race. Now, I'm Front Row Racing DP, otherwise known as Dave Lays in Beds. I'm joined in the commentary box by Front Row Racing RI. How are you this evening, Ray?
I'm fine, but see if I set up the lobby right, it would have been alright. We were at Singapore, not Spain.
That would make a bit of a difference to the drivers had they got to the circuit and gone, hang on a minute, since when has it been a night race in Spain, and since when has there been walls very, very close to the racetrack? Thankfully, you spotted that one, so I'll leave you for a split second.
Well,
I was going to say, I'll leave you for a split second just to make sure you got the rest of the settings right. Although I do have a very important question to ask you, Ray.
okay.
Yeah, that is, how's your microphone smelling?
It's smelling fine.
It's smelling fine. Would you like to tell the viewers why I've asked you that question?
Because I've got a pop and it's took the microphone cover and ate it, and today it finally came out one of its passages.
Yeah. I think the way you told it to me was I took the dog for a walk today and doing the proper thing, picking up the dog poo, and said to the missus, hang on, this is feeling a bit squidgy, a bit spongy, it doesn't feel like normal dog poo. She thinks you're mental. Turns out it's the end of your microphone. So yeah, well done, dog. Okay. Right, we have got a few we're going to wait a few moments. I think we're just going to give Charlie off a chance to make sure he gets on. Quickly mention, in the Midlands Madness Scuderia Ferrari, we do have a reserve driver in this evening, Casely 1. Been doing very well in the FRRI days of late and has been chosen by the Ferrari team to take a reserve drive. Front Row Racing NW, in the Manor Marussia, is unwell today and is unable to race, so unfortunately no reserve available for him, letting us know a little bit too late. So Adam, hopefully you're going to get better very, very soon. So good luck for that. Your head starts spinning, just turn it off and take it easy, mate. That's it for reserve drivers this evening. But what I will do quickly is just have a quick sort of recap over last week's race in Bahrain. Having to do the safety car restart was a little bit interesting in the new way of doing it, of letting the drivers know that they're able to go on that particular lap. But anyway, confirmed result, because there was a few drivers received penalties from last week. So confirmed result was Hybrid Nuke for Victoria's Secret Williams Racing in first, his teammate Hindle in second place. Front Row Racing GP was moved up to third place, and Dave the Heart moved up to fourth. Rickster 81295 did receive some penalties, but because others got more, he ended up moving up to fifth place. And it's the same story for Charlie JBWC09, who finished in sixth. In seventh place was Richie Davey, did receive a few penalties. Adam 4600 in eighth. Farfba was moved down to ninth with quite a large amount of penalties, unfortunately. And Ant 69 finished in 10th, with Acorn 95 also receiving a number of penalties, one of which was for incorrect pit entry, which does come with a 20-second penalty. So pit lanes have to be entered correctly, and here in Spain it's a very, very tricky pit entry. From Racing NW finished 12th with My Bad in 13th place, and Andy Russell did not finish the race, and we were told afterwards it's because he tried going all the way to the end using only the prime tyres. And as we know, that doesn't quite work. You got more luck of getting a microphone end out of a dog. Driver of the day was Hybrid Nuke. A great drive by him. Dealt with the strategy brilliantly and gave us a great battle to watch. He's now tied for the lead in the drivers' standings, and team of the day was Victoria's Secret Williams Racing. I'm not sure exactly what the time is right now, Ray, but if you could let me know, that would be absolutely fantastic.
32 minutes past.
Okay, 32 minutes past, so I'll quickly rush through the standings. Front Row Racing GP leads the standings on 68 points. He's joined by Hybrid Nuke on 68 points. Hindle in third place on 67. Then we've got a big gap down to Acorn 95 on 33 points. Richie Davey is in fifth on 22. Adam 4600's in sixth on 20. Andy Russell is in seventh on 16 points, and he's joined by Dave the Harp on the same amount. Rickster is in ninth on 10 points. My Bad is in 10th on 8 points. He's joined by Charlie in 10th place on the same amount of points. Then we've got Ant69 in 12th place on 7 points. Farfper in 13th on 3 points. And from a Racing NW on 0 points. Victoria's Secret Williams Racing leading the constructors standings on 135 points, leading Killer Acorn Mercedes on 79, Midlands Madness Ferrari on 76. Godolphin Sauber on 38 points, joined by Charles McLaren Honda. And then Underdog Racing are in 6th place on 27 points, and Night Farf Man and Marusha are on 3 points. Okay, time to get the drivers heading over to the circuit. For round 5 of the Front Row Racing World Series in Spain, Catalonia, Barcelona. Beautiful weather usually, but anything could happen in the World Series, and it usually does. I think we're going to be in for some wet weather. We had some last night in the World Championship, but I've got a feeling the weather is going to have stayed around the area and potentially be even worse than last night, Ray. Do you think the rain is going to fall?
I hope not. I stay in Scotland. I'd take me Spain for a tan.
If you go to Spain, it won't just be a tan you'll be getting. I'll leave that to everybody's imagination. Okay, so it's time then for the Front Row Racing World Series round 5 in Spain. We're heading over to the circuit for qualifying, where, as viewers, we hope that the Victoria's Secret Williams Racing are not going to lock out the front row for the 3rd week in a row.
It's 2 in Catalonia for today's qualifying session for the Spanish Grand Prix.
Doesn't look wet enough.
I agree. It doesn't look wet. It does look cloudy, though. It does look a little bit grey in the skies. Rain could be on its way, and looking at the screen, what does it say there? Cloudy with possible rain after a dry start. We could see some weather. The temperature is only 31 degrees for the circuit, for the track at the moment, and it is going to drop, but not very quick by the looks of things at the moment. Now, Ray, I believe you have a little bit of information about potential lap times around here in Spain. So why don't you tell us what you know?
Well, I know one of the drivers, he's been quite a quick driver, Hindle. He's been doing a low 120s in practice, but I've heard that other team spies have been round at the corners and he might be taking just a teeny weeny little bit too much, so that's something you might have to watch out for. So I'd be looking for a mid 120s to 121 for the lap time qualifying today.
Oh, it's interesting you say that. Sorry, it's interesting.
What was last season's? I've not got that information. That's something I've never done, but I'm sure you've done your homework.
I'll tell you that in 1 second, but I think it's quite interesting that you say that the team's spies have said that he's taken a little bit too much, and I heard it from fans that were sat down at the corner, the final chicane. I was in one of the bars, and a few of the fans said they were sat down there and did see Acorn taking a little bit too much curb in the practice sessions through those corners. So yes, he was fast, but he's possibly going to have to be a little bit careful. Now, you've said somewhere... sorry, Hindle. I can't even remember who I just said. Obviously, proof I was in the pub down there. Now, you've said sort of mid-20s, low 21s possibly for qualifying. Last season's World Series qualifying pole position lap time was a 1:22.328 set by Rickster. So as Acorn's about to start his first flying lap, we could be looking at knocking nearly 2 seconds off qualifying pole position lap time here. But as Acorn makes his way down into turn 1, a little bit of a squeak from the tyres, sounded a little bit like your puppy then, Ray, yap yap. Going around turn 3 where understeer can absolutely kill your lap time. Now up to turn 4, we're getting to sort of the trickier section of the circuit, and you were talking to me before qualifying, Ray, about the difficulty of this circuit, because you want to be quick on the straight, but you've got to be able to get through sector 2. So what are your thoughts about this track? I mean, what would you do?
I'd have to go half and half. I'd have to make it a wee bit slidey around the corners, but not too much, and what still was a wee bit of time on the straight, because I think there's too many corners just to go for a low downforce.
So you'd probably go for a more medium downforce setup for this circuit?
Yeah.
Understood.
Yes. Especially from after turn 4 upwards, just get the corners planted, and then I'm gonna lose that time, but then I can gain it through the corners and into the second DRS for the hairpin corner. Just try and outbrake somebody and get in position, and then that'll give me good for the last sector.
Yeah, I mean, grip is vital around this circuit. I mean, for the last few seasons, I know I myself have struggled around this track for grip and for the car just locking up at 3 certain corners. And if the drivers are suffering with the cars locking up, it is going to hurt their lap times in qualifying and in the race. Now, I could give out what setup I used in the World Championship race last night, but I will admit the setup I used last night was probably the best handling car I have ever had around this particular circuit. Now, I know for the drivers here today, there is going to be a whole range of setups for these drivers. Some of them are going to go very low, some of them are going to do as Ray suggested, a little more medium, some are going to mix it up a little bit, perhaps a low front wing with a high rear wing, or the other way around. There are lots of possibilities as David Hart goes a little bit deep at the hairpin. And I tell you what, Ray, I'm fairly sure these grey clouds are moving over a little bit more onto the circuit. It just looks like it's just dropped a little bit darker. Now, as for sector times, Sector 1, a really good Sector 1 time, you're looking 21.8s or lower. Sector 2, 29.3s are a good sector, very good sector. And again, Sector 3, 29.3s, a fantastic sector. David Hart's just gone second place with a 122.4, but something to mention is that with the temperatures as they are right now, they're a bit low. So the drivers could find that they struggle a little bit for tyre temperature, for grip. But interestingly, Hybrid Nuke is out on track on the currently sat in 3rd place. Now, I know why they'd use the prime tyres at this point. Ray, do you want to try and fire a couple of theories?
Well, I'd go one round on the prime tyres to see how it feels, and then on the options for a lap, because you don't want to burn up the options too quick.
No, you don't. And also, a strategy could be crucial around this track. This track can eat tyres. For these drivers, they got to see the World Championship last night, saw a few different strategies. Be interesting to see what they use here. Now, with us riding on board with Hybrid Nuke, a little birdie told me, Ray, that you've got a little bit of information from Hybrid Nuke about today's race.
Hybrid Nuke? Sorry, I was down at the Williams garage, and Hybrid Nuke is struggling compared to his teammate Handel, but unless it rains, then Hybrid Nuke could come back into play. So it'd be interesting to see if he's done more practice to just contradict everything I've just said.
So interesting. So by the sounds of it then, Hybrid Nuke struggling a little bit around this circuit compared to his teammate, possibly thinking his teammate could run away with this race, but if it rains, Hybrid Nuke thinks he's got a chance. So it'll be interesting to keep an eye on that one. Now, Hybrid Nuke has put himself now 4th place with a 122.8 lap time. And I tell you what, there's quite a few drivers just sitting in the garage at the moment. I wouldn't be surprised if a few of them are just waiting for temperatures to rise, or perhaps just waiting to only put the one run in, or they're all thinking about just saving tyres. I mean, this is the thing though, if there's quite a few sorry, go on.
Sorry. Back in a sec.
Okay, as Ray's about to go and tell his dog off, I translated the dog's barking into I like the taste of your microphone, buy me another one. He was about to say that Hindle has gone pole position with a 121.3 on the option tyres, sector times of a 21.9, 29.4 and a 29.8. He knows he's down in sector 3, so he could improve on that lap time there. Hybrid Nuke is apparently on an in-lap, and now we've got a few more drivers making their way out onto the circuit, and K-Slate is on an out-lap. Making his debut in the Front Row Racing World Series as a reserve driver for Midlands Madness Ferrari. Will be very interesting to see how he gets on here. And as a reminder for the viewers and the drivers do have to record their footage of the qualifying event and the race, although from qualifying it is only the fastest lap that they put in that the race directors are interested in, but they do need to record the whole of their race event. It is one of the rules of being in the league races. So for K-Slate, having a debut race, he's got quite a lot to think about here as he's setting himself up to go for a fly-in lap. A little bit of pressure on him. I'm sure his teammate would have told him though, look, don't panic, you've already had a race around here in the FRRI days, I've watched it, and he did, that's why K-Slate's in this race now. I've watched it, you've done good. You do what you did in that race, you'll be fine. Now for K-Slate as a reserve driver, he won't score points for himself in this race, but he will score points for the team. Now he's either just setting himself up for a flying lap or he's just taking it nice and easy, but we will follow him. It is for a flying lap, so now the throttle goes down. He's looked after those tyres a lot on that out lap. Could mean he's going to get to turn 1 with very, very cold tyres. We'll have to see if it's going to brake nicely for him. Braking at about 100, 105 metres. Just about getting it into the apex. Now get up through those gears. Get ready for turn 3. Needs a lift somewhere. Car's going to run out wide. He's taking the corner quite nicely. Now turn 4. Get hard on those brakes. Get it ducked into that apex. Don't let the front end slide out wide. Rear end's pushing him round the corner, which is exactly what it wants. Now the horrible turn 5. Locking up, twitching a little bit. Hard on the power, twitching on the exit. Now the fantastic left-right chicane. Be confident. Oh, and he's too much curb. That'll be his lap over. And he knows it. You got to be confident, but sometimes you got a bit more grip than you might expect. He knows that lap's over. He's short shifting. Live to fight another day. Best thing he could probably do now is either go for one more flying lap or get in the pits, put a new set of tyres on. Okay. Anybody else looking quick at the moment, Ray?
No, I was watching K-Slate, seeing how he was getting on as well. But I have information from the Williams garage that rain is coming its way, and one of the drivers has went for a wet setup. Oh,
interesting. So one of the drivers has gone for a wet setup. If the rain is coming, that could benefit them hugely. Now Farf Bahir for the Mana Marussia team heading up to turn 4. Now he did have the fastest lap of the race last season with a 123.447. So he could do with finding a bit of extra time on what he did in the race last season to try and fight for pole position. Someone needs to fight the Williams boys for that starting front row of the grid. But Paul's going deep, that's going to be gravel. Oh dear, oh dear. Dip to wheel, Kitty Litter saying no thank you. You're going to have to try again, my friend. So that's his lap over. And this is one of the difficulties with this circuit. You get it slightly wrong, especially in qualifying, and it could be very wrong. Okay, Hindle looks like he is on an out lap. So, currently sat in pole position, so we will keep an eye on him, ride on board. Now, while we're sat here waiting for Hindle to get to the start-finish line, have we got any other information, Ray? I mean, rain's on its way. I mean, thinking about it, if you're a driver that's gone for a dry setup and it rains, do you think that they're just simply going to struggle?
Yeah, if they're on a dry setup, sorry. Yeah, I was messaging back on the page. Yeah, if a dry setup in the rain, I couldn't cope. I hope that was your question. And I thought,
Kind of.
well, I wouldn't be able to do a dry setup in the rain. Or even intermediates.
Sometimes a dry setup on intermediates you can just about be okay. Dry setup on full wets, not so much. Now Hindle's going around turn 3, had a bit of a wiggle between 2 and 3. What's his sector 1 time? It's only a 22.1. He's down. That wiggle has cost him at least nearly, well, second. He'll have seen that already. He'll be looking at the time left, thinking, okay, do I go for another lap? Do I continue this lap? I know I lost out about 4/10 on my final sector on the previous lap, so if I can improve there, it doesn't matter about sector 1. Or is he going to think, right, let's get back into the pits, another set of tyres and go for it? But he's stayed on it on this lap. What's his sector 2? 29.4 or lower? 29.4 it is. He may just continue this on. If he can get a final sector of a 29.4, he could improve his lap time. He's lost 3/10 in sector 1, but he'll be up 4/10 in sector 3. So he'll be a 10th up overall. Through the final sector then, the horrible chicane coming up. You can see him cautiously turning into it. Now get on that power, heading to the finish line. Is he going to improve on his lap time? Only time will tell, and that time is now. It's a 1:21.4. It's not a bad lap time, but he knows he can do better because he's already posted a 21.3.
Hybrid Nuke, he was going for a lap and then he just decided to put in, so I don't think he was happy with his lap. I don't see the scruffy lap, I just seen the sector time and then he went into the pits. We've got Front Row Racing GP sitting on 9th position and he's on a flying lap. He's coming into turn 1. Around about the 80 metre marker board, that's when he's hit the brakes, so he's quite
smooth.
Late on the brakes. Was that
not? Possibly. He's looking a lot smoother through sector 1 than Hindle was, but he's a 10th off Hindle's time. Now for the drivers, I mean, track temperature, it makes such a big difference here at this track. I think last night, I was going to say in last night's qualifying session, but it wasn't. In my last practice session before qualifying yesterday, qualifying temperature was 48 degrees track temperature. For these guys here, they started the session, as GP takes out the DRS sign, they started the session on 31 degrees. That's a 17 degree difference. And it makes a massive difference to the lap time as Ray's dog's about to get told off again. Can you tell that that dog's Scottish? Feed me, feed me, feed me, feed me. Drink, 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 drink.
He's been fed and watered and walked and he's still gone.
Okay, GP sector 2. It's only a 30.7. He knows he's had a slow sector 2. I reckon he's going on for another lap here. He's up to 5th at the moment. That's a 23.4. I mean, I know he can go at least 2 seconds faster than that. So, a little more aggressive into turn 1 maybe. He's trying to be, needs to get 22.0s or lower sector 1. Although a 22.1 wouldn't be too bad. No, he's backed out of it, I think. It's a 22.5. Okay, let's go and see who else is on a flying lap. Acorn is in 2nd place. Dave the Harp's got himself to 3rd. Hybrid Nuke is only in 4th place at the moment. He's on a flying lap. Ant 69, he's on an out lap at the moment. Adam 4600, he's on a flying lap at the moment. Sector 1 of a 22.6. Car ahead of him, getting out of the way. Nicely done. Adam's looking a little cautious through turns 7 and 8 there, but aggressive caution is what you need. DRS now open, so sector 1 of a 22.6. What's his sector 2? A 30.6. He's at least a second off in that second sector from Hindle at the moment. So although Hindle's not getting his lap times in, nobody else really is either. We've got a minute to go until we get kicked up into the commentary box. So final few corners for Adam 4600. Go on, get that power down, fella. He has done. Control that rear end slide. Get out and push it to the finish line if you need to. What lap time's it going to be? It's a 24.0. It's only 6th place for him. Casely's about to complete another flying lap. 22.2 sector 1, 30.2 sector 3, 22.8 overall. That puts him 5th place, just ahead of his teammate. I tell you what though, Ray, you're going to have a bit of a nightmare at the start of this race. Farfba is on an out lap, and we've got 17 seconds to go. At the moment, Ray, you're starting in 9th place, so at the start of the race you are going to have to move out of the way. I'm surprised that the likes of Rickster haven't gone and put a lap in yet. Richie Davey I'm not surprised about, used the brand new tyres at the start. But, yes, for you, Ray.
Could be coming.
It could be, it is a possibility.
Or they're saving their tyres.
Well, saving your tyres isn't always a bad idea. The problem is you're going to start at the very back of the grid. It would be advisable for those drivers who do plan on starting at the back of the grid to go out on track on a set of prime tyres, do the out lap, start a lap, so you've done sector 1, done sector 2, then drive it into the pits. That way you start ahead of the admin's cars and we don't have to move out of the way. Because it's much better for us to not have to try and do that. But here we go then. Hindle takes pole position. Acorn 95 splits the Williams finally. Hybrid Nuke in 3rd place. Dave the Harp in 4th. Casely 5th. Front Row Racing GP in 6th. Adam 4600 in 7th. Ant 69 in 8th. Farfba only in 9th place. And then we've got, it'll be Andy Russell in 10th. Rickster in 11th. And Richie Davey effectively in 13th. Try and have a quick look at the old race director. Not many on there, although a few invalidated laps.
Yeah, I got a word for the Ferrari garage that GP had done a little cut, so that's why he backed out.
Okay. Handy to know. So it's time then for the Front Row Racing World Series Round 5 in Spain. It's race time. Is it rain time? No, it's beautifully sunny.
It's... I can get a tan now.
That you can. Go and join Alonso on his deck chair. So if we have a quick look at the grid order then. So I've got Richie Davey behind me, but I won't need to move. Ray, you'll be in 10th place, so you will need to just try and pull over to the side of the circuit at the start of the race. And there we go, the front of the grid. Nice to see the Williams split, but perhaps proving that the information that came from the pit lane was correct. Hybrid Nuke struggling a little bit around here in Spain. Now, if we have a look at the suggested race strategy here, it's saying 3-stop. It's actually a 4-stop because there's going to be a set of primes that's off the screen there. First stop pit window could be anywhere from 6 laps to 9 laps. Strategy, this is saying 4-stop. We could see 3 stops. We could see 2 stops. We could see more. If rain comes, we could see 7 stops. But it's time now for the race to get going as the lights are on. 4 lights, 5 lights. Let's get racing! And away they go, heading down to turn 1. We'll go and get on board with one of the drivers, spotting Richie Davey quite far back of the grid. Oh, we've got a Red Bull spinning. That's Ant 69. He's taken Rickster with him. So that's 2 of them having a bit of a problem straight away at the start of the race. Both Saubers sliding about a little bit. Ant 69, he was spinning like he was on ice right there and then. Now both Saubers looking aggressive up alongside Farfba. He's not going to want to give any positions away. And Andy Russell is on the prime tyre. Let's just hope that this time around he remembers to put the options on.
We've got Dave the Harp up into 2nd place, chasing down Hindle. He's right behind him on his gearbox.
So, where's his teammate gone then? Because Acorn, he's in 5th place at the moment. He was in 2nd place, so perhaps he's not had the greatest of starts as they head now down towards the first of the real hairpins on the circuit. Oh, a Sauber in the background, getting rid of that doctor's sign. So it looks like Hindle's going to finish the first lap in the lead with Dave the Harp in 2nd place and his teammate Acorn 95 looking a bit feisty in 6th place at the moment. Got a Red Bull ahead of him. That's Adam 4600 going for the move up the inside. It's a risky one, but he kind of made it work from a Racing GP and his teammate behind him. So the Ferraris have switched places. Actually, it's a Marussia. My apologies. So from a Racing GP's teammates further up the grid, and Farfba's now attacking him. Oh, this is getting busy. 3 wide down towards turn 1. You're going to have to try and keep it clean there, guys. And it's not been. We've got a spinner and we've got a Mercedes off as well. 3 into 1 doesn't always go. Not unless you're from a Racing DP. Sorry, I couldn't resist that. Only because I did do a nice little move down there last night. Hybrid Nuke, we've missed it. Sorry, Hybrid. Hybrid Nuke's now up to 2nd place. I'm guessing he got that move done down the start finish, but we kept an eye on those 3 cars that were getting a little bit more feisty. And I tell you what, look who's there in 4th place. The reserve driver in the Ferrari, K-Slay. Now, he has had a race around here on Friday already in the FRR Days Cup, so he knows what this track's like. He knows what the cars are capable of. He knows what the tyres can do. Oh, that Sauber in the background. Very, very sideways. Now, we've got a 33 lap race here, but I tell you what, if this stays dry, those laps will disappear very, very quickly, as will the tyre life on these drivers' cars. DRS will be active once the drivers cross the start-finish line on this next lap. So, Ray, we've had a very interesting, very action-packed start of the race. What are you watching? Who are you watching as Hindle posts... No, Hybrid Nuke posts the fastest lap of the race.
I'm just watching Farboff. There's the group of cars. Oh, there's a McLaren going for an overtake on a... It's Andy Russell and Rickster, 10th and 9th and 10th place. Andy Russell's in 9th place. I don't know if it was an overtake or defending.
I think it may have been a defending, because Rickster was collected in the Ant 69 spin at the first into the first corner. Andy Russell on the prime tyre is going to come under a lot of pressure right now as Rickster up the inside, but he's going to be on the outside now as Andy gives him a little bit of room. It looks like Andy's got a little bit of jiggery pokery going on in his car at the moment. It's moving about a bit, but Rickster, he wants to get past him as soon as he can. He's on the better tyres, but they won't be better for that many laps. Okay, Rickster didn't set a lap time, so by lap 4 or 5 he needs to have got past, and I think he's about to do it now. DRS is available, but he doesn't need it. He's already through.
Yeah, he's going.
From a Racing GP's down in 11th place, and 69 in 12th, and I could be wrong, but I think we may have lost a driver.
Yeah,
I'm sure we had 13 of them, but Hindle is leading the race, takes a new fastest lap. His teammate hasn't taken it off him this time, but looks like he may be catching him up. Dave the Harp in 3rd place, he's dropping back from the leaders. He's got to keep an eye out on K-Slay, who is right up that Mercedes gearbox. I wouldn't be surprised if the Ferrari team have stuck it.
Acorn's gone for a move on Paul in the first corner. Oh, Paul's trying to get back. Sorry, Farboff's for the viewers. I know him as Paul. I don't know him as Farboff, so you will hear that from me. Paul's trying to keep behind him and get it placed back. He wasn't happy about that one.
He definitely won't have been. I managed to just see it in the background of the camera shot in Acorn taking it up the inside into turn 1. And I tell you what, just behind these two we've got Adam 4600, who's now got Rickster right behind him. So Rickster on a bit of a charge. He was spun by one Red Bull already. He's not going to be want to be held up by another one. But sometimes you've got no control over what the car ahead is doing. But Rickster will have DRS now. Looks like he's not close enough to go for an attack, but down the start finish is where you really want to go for it. Ray, just keep an eye on the 3rd and 4th for me. See if they switch places down the start finish.
I will do.
Okay.
I've got a wee question. It came up last night with Steve and his pad versus wheel. Wheels that are better on tyre wear. Do you think they're better on tyre wear or...?
No, it's all down to how you drive them. I don't want to get into a pad v wheel argument as Rickster is going through. He was looking at making a move. Yeah, I don't want to sort of start any wheel v pad arguments or anything like that, as Rickster and Adam 4600 still fighting it out around turn 3, but Rickster may have a run on him. No, just slightly too far back. Better tyre wear doesn't come as a benefit from using the wheel. Better tyre wear comes from being good on a wheel and looking after your tyres. I'm a wheel user and I never ever go full brakes. If I go full brakes, it locks up. Around this circuit, there's 3 or 4 corners where anything more than 15% on the brake pedal and you're locking up the tyres. So does it give you a benefit of tyre wear? No, it's all about how you drive it. And that's all I'm going to say on it. But that's the same for a pad. If you're very aggressive on a pad with no traction control on, you're going to kill your rear tyres. Oh, contact between Adam and Rickster. They're still trying to battle it out and work out who should be in what position, but away they go. Now, K-Slay and Dave the Harp, are they close enough to have any kind of overtake? Yeah. I mean, setup makes a huge difference. I mean, we talked about setup in qualifying around this circuit. I mean, I ran 5.2 aeros around this track last night, and that's to give the car a good front end, allow me to use the brakes a little bit, and the rear end was stable. If I had 1 on the rear wing, destroys the rear tyres. If I had 4, 3, 2 or 1 on the front wing, destroys the tyres. So to say that a wheel has better tyre wear is not correct. It's down to setup, it's down to driver, it's down to how you drive the car. Okay, K-Slay still right up the gearbox of Dave the Harp at the moment. Not quite close enough to make any kind of move. I'm curious as to whether, I was going to say whether Hybrid Nuke's been able to keep up with his teammate Hindle. He hasn't. He's dropped back. Bit of a gap between them, and that gap is 2.4 seconds. Dave's 5.3 seconds behind, and K-Slay's looking very good on the brakes. Now, talking about tyre wear and strategy, in the World Series, the drivers are allowed to use assists if they want. They can use ABS, they can use traction control. So we could see these guys going longer on their tyres than in the World Championship. We could also see them braking later, braking more aggressively, trying to be more aggressive on the throttle. But I'm wondering if K-Slay is running a sort of medium aero setup, because really, DRS Open now, he's got to be gaining on that car. As in the background, Richie Davey does his usual Richie Davey defensive line, which is way off the race. K-Slay's going for it, up into turn 1. Nice move, nice move. Dave's going to have to try and fight it back with a switchback. And Acorn, as you mentioned, has made the move on Richie Davey there, so Richie Davey's defensive line hasn't worked for him. I think K-Slay's just had to do a little bit of a lift, which has given Dave the Harp a little bit of momentum. But if K-Slay is faster, now's the time to go and catch up the car ahead. Hybrid Nuke, who could be struggling around this track. Now, Richie Davey has gone from the back of the grid up to 6th place at the moment, but Acorn has just overtaken him and moved himself up to 5th place. So we've got both Mercedes in 4th and 5th place at the moment. Farfba in 7th place, 14 seconds off the lead, with Rickster, who's been on a charge since the first lap, right behind him. And then behind Rickster, so go on.
No, I thought Dave the Harp had went for a move in the hairpin with K-Slay, but I don't think he got it. I'm riding on board with Richie Davey. I just seen out the corner of the screen.
Okay, I tell you what, we have got 9th, 10th and 11th. A little bit of a battle going on here. Andy Russell on the prime tyres should be looking to go lap 10 or longer.
Pits already.
Who's that? Okay.
We've got Hybrid Nuke and K-Slay.
Oh, we've just seen a Red Bull go for the pits as well, and he took so much of that pit entry. He's nearly in Jamaica. I don't know why I said Jamaica, but anyway, from a Racing GP making a move on Andy Russell down into turn 1 on those option tyres that will now be suffering, but move has been made. So Hybrid Nuke's made a stop. He's come out in 9th place, and he is on the prime tyre. This could give him a bit of an undercut on his teammate, close that gap in a bit, but it will give him an overcut on the cars that were behind him. What will be interesting is to see whether K-Slay or Dave the Harp stop now as well. I tell you what.
Adam thought he was Case 4600 or
Case, sorry.
4600.
Yeah, Adam 4600 did pit. K-Slay pitted as well. He's put the option tyres on. So he followed Hybrid Nuke into the pits. He's now on a set of option tyres. Time for you to get ahead, K. Because if you can get ahead now and pull away, you've got half a chance.
Buffer and Rickster, I think Buffer went wide. I don't know if there was a wee lift tap in there, but Rickster seemed to hold back for a wee bit and then got going, so I don't know if there was a wee lift tap there before he decided, I'm just going.
Farfber going for the pits. There's other cars in the pits as well. I think it may be a Williams. No, Dave the Harp. Sorry. Hindle's pitted.
Just coming out.
Yeah, he's on prime tyres. Dave the Harper's pitted as well. So, Hybrid Nuke is behind Andy Russell, who's still going on his prime tyres. Got K-Slay so close to the back of him. This is a tricky one for Hybrid Nuke. He needs to fight K-Slay for his own position, but also to help his teammate. With having Andy Russell ahead of him on warm prime tyres, he's also got to... This is going to get very, very, very interesting. Oh, Hybrid should have gone up the inside there. K-Slay's giving him a little bit of a nudge. A little bit unfortunate, but also very, very lucky. But that was an opportunity. The door was wide open for Hybrid there. Could have taken it, and his tyres are knackered. Get past him. Because if you don't get past him, K-Slay's coming past you. So at the moment, most people have pitted. Andy Russell hasn't. Here we go. Oh, we got 3 wide.
Could get us.
Oh, I think he thought about trying to get past both of them there.
He's got round outside.
Yeah,
and he's got it done.
Moved on. Now he needs to get up close to that Williams right now. Oh, he's had a moment. That Williams was sliding. Get right up his rear end. Get that DRS down into turn 1. Get past him. Get after the race leader because he's on primes as well. I heard you go, oh, you've either broke wind or you spotted something. Acorn's in the pits. Sorry, go on.
I seen Paul trying to heat up his tyres as he's going round the track.
Well, it's possible. Either that or he's just had a bit of a moment somewhere. Adam 4600 has managed to jump from a Racing GP in the pit stops. Option tyres on Adam 4600 car. Option tyres on from a Racing GP's car. And I tell you what, we're not far off.
Came out ahead of Paul, and Paul's going for the overtake through turn 3, and he's got it done in dusty.
Yep, I was about to say, we're not far off having a 4-way battle here, because Rickster is now on the prime tyres. Farfber's on the options though, so he may be able to pull away, but the 2 cars behind Rickster, they're on options. So these 4 cars are going to close up a little bit now. Oh, has Andy Russell pitted yet, Ray? I think he may have done. I saw a Sauber in the pit lane along with Acorn 95. I think Acorn went long. Paul's gone wide. Dipped the gravel again. That's put Rickster all over his rear enders from a Racing GP. Trying to sneak up the inside up to turn 9. Not quite managed to get it done. But Rickster is now ahead of Farfber. DRS being used by a few of these guys.
He's closer to Hybrid Nuke. If he gets a DRS and he's dropped back in the chicane, he's losing time on that chicane.
Okay.
If he was closer at that chicane and got a DRS,
I'm
sure he would
sorry,
overtake that.
Rickster's just gone very wide. I was about to say we're going to have a potential 4-car overtake down into turn 1, but Rickster went very, very wide. I think Farfber's struggling on his tyres. I'm sure he's pitted already. Out of 4600 going for the move from a Racing GP, keeping Paul's slipstream. Oh, went to go in the middle. It's not worked. Collision. Farfber spinning. Front wing gone on the Marussia. Front wing gone on the Ferrari. Sauber coming out the pit lane with a car right ahead of him. Had to swerve out of the way. I know there's a rule about exiting the pit lane white line, but to be fair, that Sauber didn't really have much of the choice there. But that's a long lap now for the Marussia driver and the Ferrari driver to get back to the pits without those front wings. Hindle still leading the race, quite comfortable at the moment. His teammate not feeling so relaxed as K-Slay all over his rear end. Surprisingly though, he's been on those option tyres for about 4 laps now and hasn't got ahead. May have been saving fuel, but he's got to get past him.
I think he's biding his time. He's closer. If he keeps tight at this chicane, keeps right there and gets that DRS, I'm sure he'll have it. He's closer than last lap.
Yeah, he's having it now. And Hybrid's not going to be able to do...
He's having it before.
He's not got the straight line speed. He should be miles ahead by now. These guys spotting the debris on the track. And Hybrid's managed to stay ahead. Kay going for a bit of a switchback. K-Slay is struggling for top-end speed. That's why he's not been able to get past yet. So he's going to be quick in the middle sector, but he can't get past through there. This could hurt his race. This could really, really hurt his race, because when Hybrid, if he goes back to option tyres, K-Slay is going to be using the primes. Now, have we heard anything from the pit lane, Ray, about whether the weather may be changing at all? I can't say I've been looking at the skies, but a quick peek, and it looks quite nice and sunny out there.
I've not had any confirmation, but if any of the race engineers are on live chat, just to let us know so we can add it into commentary. Might even give you a mention if you're good enough.
I tell you what,
he's right up there, he's closer and closer, but it's at top speed, as you say.
now he could be saving fuel at this point, but if the opportunity arises down that start finish, you've got to have it in Rich. You've got to get past. Being on the better tyres, he needs to make this move work now. So he's having another attempt, staying in the slipstream a little bit longer. DRS is open. Come on, fella, you've got to get it past, because Dave the Harp's catching you two from behind. Side by side around turn one, and he is now ahead. Need to keep ahead, and if he has got a higher aero setup, we may just see him pull further ahead through sector 2. I say we, Ray might, because we're about to go and look at somebody else. Acorn 95 running in 5th place on the prime tyres. Richie Davies in 6th on the prime tyres. Rickster 7th on the prime tyres. Adam 4600 not far behind him in 8th on the option tyres. Andy Russell now on option tyres from a Racing GP, now on the prime tyres with a new front wing. And 69 also on the prime tyres. And Farfba in 12th, and unfortunately for Paul, he's right behind the leader, just not in the position he would have wanted. So Hindle leading the race then. Lap 13 of 33. 20 laps to go. And we can tell, if we go back and have a quick look at K-Slay and Hybrid Nuke, he has managed to pull ahead through sector 2, but we know that Hybrid Nuke's car is fast in a straight line. We could see him retaking the position, because I reckon that gap is just going to disappear. If he's close enough for DRS, he'll be close enough to possibly have a look into turn 1. Look at that speed difference. He's going for it. He's through. He's through. Now, I know Hybrid Nuke said he was struggling for lap time around this particular track. It could be down to aerodynamics, because that car is fast in a straight line.
I don't like the race engineers for World Series.
Are they lying to you?
Yeah, I got one from Kev187. It's peeing down in Scotland. I know that. I'm in Spain.
Sorry, I think Ant69 has just had a bit of a moment somewhere. He's dropped down to 12th place. Farfba has managed to get ahead of him. We've got a right gaggle of cars now. We've got the leader, 11th place, 12th place. And then we've got 2nd, 3rd and 4th. This could get very, very interesting and tricky for the likes of Hybrid Nuke, K-Slay and Dave the Harp, who is catching up to 2nd and 3rd place. K-Slay, he's having a look, He knows he hasn't really got the straight line speed. He knows he's got to be very, very close on the exit of these corners, because, as I mentioned on the previous lap, Hybrid's fast in a straight line. He's got to do it again, but Hybrid Nuke's going to get DRS on this occasion as Ant69, blue flag, gets out of the way. DRS open for K-Slay. He's having a look. He's got to go for it. You've got to be confident into there. He's trying, but Hybrid Nuke's not giving it up. Side by side, he manages to get through. Time to get that Ferrari heading up the road.
And Dave's just lit up.
Hybrid Nuke, he's trying back through turn 4. He may have this position retaken. Kay's going to have to go all the way around the outside. It will now become the inside. I mean, you mentioned about Dave behind. Was he sliding the rear end?
No, he was just lighting up his cigarette ready for action.
I think Dave is sat there, saving a little bit of fuel, catching. He'll make his move when the time is ready. Hybrid Nuke's now going to have DRS. Kay may have to go defensive. He's left the door wide open. Hybrid Nuke has a look. Side by side once again. And this is a difficult situation for Dave because he'll want to get past these guys, but he can't if they're side by side. Down into turn one. I tell you what, Dave's close enough on this occasion. Close that gap a little more, Dave. Get it into Rich. Overtake them both if you can down the start-finish line. Because Caseley's struggling for top-end speed. We could see...
Casey's in the pits.
He is in the pits. Okay, is Dave the Harp? Is he going to try and attack Hybrid Nuke? Is he close enough? DRS is available, but he's not close enough to make any kind of move on Hybrid Nuke. But this is now time for Dave the Harp to get his hammer down.
Oh, I'm getting it tight for all the engineers.
Don't be me. Hey, come on, Ray. Chell Brooks. Put your husband in his place. Tell him who really wears the trousers. I don't mean Kirsty, by the way. I mean Kev Brooks. Anyway, Hindle still leading the race. Hybrid Nuke in second. Dave the Harp third. I hope he's been saving fuel while he was catching these guys up. He needed to be. Acorn 14 seconds off the lead on the prime tyres. Let's go and find out what tyres Caseley's on. He's got options again. He's going to have to run the prime tyres at the end. He's down in 7th place. Being on the options now is going to give him the undercut potentially on Hybrid Nuke. But Hybrid Nuke is already running the prime tyre.
It was F1 Neon. Ray hates it when there's frost on the ground. He's probably skitterish all the time.
Oh, he is. He is. Now, Farfba, he's up to 11th place, and 69 still in 12th. I tell you what, Hindle's got to be feeling very, very comfortable and confident at this point. Last week in Bahrain, he was under a lot of pressure from his teammate throughout the whole of the race, and his teammate beat him. This could be a changing of the tide in the Williams team, in the Victoria's Secret team. Maybe it's a Hindle secret here in Spain because his teammate hasn't really got an answer for him. Dave the Harp has pitted. Yeah, he's down in 7th place. He's gone for the option tyre again. He's behind Caseley. A bit of a gap between them as well because Caseley got the undercut. There's Dave in the background. So now we're going to have to keep an eye on when Hybrid Nuke pits. And the cars have got quite spread out at the moment, but I reckon they're going to close up again once their final round of stops are made. Some of these drivers may be trying to do a 2-stop strategy. Option prime, it can be doable, but the primes, they're not very quick. As we look in the rear of Rickster's car, Caseley in the background there. And the sound of Rickster locking up those tyres. And I tell you what, his rears are looking absolutely diabolical. He's been on them about 10 laps, and it's not far off time to get rid of them. Now, Hybrid Nuke's tyres. Sorry, go on, Ray.
No, I was just looking through the drivers, and yeah, it's a bit spread. We've got Rickster in the pits, I'm sure it is.
It is.
Yep, Rickster's in the pits.
So, you got about half a second to gamble, Ray. Is he going for options or is he going for primes?
I'll tell you in a second.
Predict it. Options. That means he's going to have another stop to make. He can't get to the end on that set of tyres as Ant69 goes through, but he's a lap down on Rickster at the moment. So Rickster's going to come out in 8th place on a brand new set of option tyres. Dave the Harp, he's in 6th. He can just about see the Ferrari ahead of him. Richie Davey, he's up to 4th place, running prime tyres at the moment. Seemed to be quite quick early on. Perhaps went long on that first set of tyres so he can take these primes long. And he can see the Mercedes of Acorn 95 just ahead of him. He'll also see a Ferrari right behind him. that is K-Slay with Rickster having pitted, and I've got a feeling we'll be seeing Richie Davey in the pits fairly soon as well. I think Andy Russell, he pitted around about lap 10 or 11, so I don't think we'll see him in the pits again just yet, although if he's on the option tyres he might be in soon. But what's Richie Davey going to do? He's continuing on for another lap.
Your top 3 prediction for this race, who do you think?
Hindle, Hybrid Nuke, K-Slay. K-Slay, when Hybrid Nuke makes his pit stop, K-Slay is going to be ahead of him. But Hybrid Nuke, when he makes his pit stop, is either going to be on a brand new set of prime tyres with K-Slay needing to make another stop, or he's going to be on options. I mean, if Hybrid Nuke can get to lap 24, 25, he can take a set of options to the end. I mean, let's see, Hybrid Nuke's 7.5 seconds off the leader right now. K-Slay is 23.5 seconds, so knock 7 seconds off that. He's 16 seconds behind Hybrid Nuke. So when Hybrid Nuke pits, he's going to be about 6 seconds behind K-Slay.
That'll be interesting.
It'll be very interesting. But what is also interesting is, like I mentioned on the previous lap, what Richie Davey's going to do, because K-Slay's catching him hand over fist, but Dave the Harp's catching K-Slay. Possibly. I think
Richie's having a wee slide there around that corner.
His tyres
I can't remember where it was.
His tyres aren't looking great. That front right, knackered. Rears aren't looking too bad. Front left, knackered. Yeah, I don't think these tyres will be on this car for too much longer. Let's go and have a look at Hybrid Nukes. Hybrid Nuke's pitted, has he? No, Hindle. Yes, Hybrid Nuke has pitted. My apologies. He's in the pits now, coming out. And there goes Dave the Harp. Just to show how... So, yeah, he is 6th place. That just goes to show how much Hybrid Nuke has lost at that point. He's on the option tyres now, though. Time for him to be quick. He can't get to the end. He's got another stop to do. This is going to get very, very close at the end of the race.
He's going for tried to get a move on Richie Davey. Oh, he's got a big skitterish rear end.
So there's a bit of ice on the track then down at turn 5 for the Ferrari. He's having a look up the inside. Oh, Richie's worn tyres hurting him. Kay's going to have DRS. Andy's already ahead. That was an important move for K-Slay because he knows that Hybrid Nuke has pitted. K-Slay still needs to get the hammer down. Hybrid Nuke's going to be fast now on those option tyres, and K-Slay's still got to run the primes. It's going to get interesting.
Richie's got to go in the pits this lap. He's losing too much time.
He's about to lose a position to Dave the Harp as well if he's not careful. He's continuing on.
No, it's continuing on.
I'm a little surprised about that, unless he knows he's got a target lap time he's got to get to, and whatever the position he's in. Oh, this could get close. That's a Williams. That's Hindle coming out of the pits. That's got to be Hindle coming out of the pits from the lead of the race. Yep, he's down to 3rd place now, so he's gone long on his tyres. Richie Davey's gone wide. Dave the Harp round the outside of turn 3. That's that move done. Now, that is very interesting that K-Slay has come out, or sorry, Hindle has come out behind K-Slay. Oh, what tyres is Hindle on?
Options.
So he's got another stop to make. So these guys have all got one more pit stop to make, and this is why K-Slay's not going to go on to win the race. K-Slay's got to run the prime tyre yet.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
That's why I mentioned that. That's why I mentioned it. And I mean, he's right on the back of K-Slay. I mean, K has been on these tyres for quite a few laps already, but at the moment, Acorn 95, he's leading the race on a set of prime tyres, and he's not going for the pit lane yet. And I tell you what,
Hybrid's just get past Richie Davey, so Richie's got a flat. He's got a flat front, left flat.
It's not showing me that, but I reckon you'll be right, Ray. I won't argue with you.
It's shaking about like anything. His wheels shaking.
I tell you what else we've got. Hindle all over the back of K-Slay. He knows he's faster. He's on much, much fresher tyres. He doesn't have to rush to get past, though, to be honest.
Richie's going prime. She's going to the end.
Oh, K-Slay's ran wide. He's still got the inside corner. Hindle's going to hang it around the outside. The fresher tyres are going to help him here. But side by side, they're going to head towards turns 7 and 8. And they could just about manage to get through there with Hindle getting ahead. And Acorn next in line to be attacked by Hindle, who so far throughout this race has been unstoppable. I tell you what, this race is far from over. Far from over. I mean, Hindle may go on and win it by a mile, but for the rest of the positions, it is definitely far from over.
I think Dave the Harp's got a good chance. He's catching up with the guys. He's on the options. He's got another stop to make, and it'll probably... Was he on options to begin with?
He hasn't ran the prime tyre yet.
So it'll be between him and Casely on the prime tyres.
For that final podium position, yes, it will be, as Hybrid Nuke posts the fastest lap. I'm just having a look at Adam 4600 running in 9th place. From a Racing GP is in 10th behind him. Andy Russell is up to 8th place, running option tyres.
And the pits, he's went options. So he's got no stop to make.
I don't think he has. He's going to take those tyres to the end. 10 laps, just about doable if you can look after your tyres. So that's put Rickster up to 5th place. I think he's still got another stop to make though. Hybrid Nuke, he's in 4th place on option tyres, catching up to Dave the Harp, who is on options as well, but as I mentioned a moment ago, still got to run the prime tyre. I mean, you're right, Ray, that it is going to effectively be between Dave the Harp and K-Slay for that final podium position. They're both going to be on the prime tyre, whereas Hybrid and Hindle, they can just put on another set of options.
Yeah, I just hope there's no... commentators cuss, touch wood. I hope there's no contact while Hybrid Nuke's trying to get through the... like Dave the Harp and that. Whose tyres,
Ferrari
23 point.
Yep, 23.000, and K-Slay is in the pits as Hybrid Nuke is now making his move past Dave the Harp into 2nd place. So K-Slay has made his move for the prime tyre. If he's put options on, he's going to be in a bit of trouble.
That's primes.
Yep, it is the prime tyre, and Acorn has just passed him, but as we know, Acorn, he's on option tyres, and he's going to try going to the end of the race. He's going to be fast now, 10 laps on those options, it's doable, but they are going to be slow for those last few laps. I mean, Acorn, he could be a sneaky one for taking the final podium position here, you know. He's been very, very quiet throughout this race, or at least we have about him. He's just been going about his business, and now he's in with a shot, you know, of a podium position here. Having a quick look at Rickster's tyres, his options, they're not looking good. They're not going to get him anywhere near the end of the race. He's going to be in the pits soon. He's got no choice but to make a stop soon with how his tyres are handling. And there's Acorn 95 in the background, K-Slay even further in the background. What's Dave the Harp going to do? Time for him to pit, I think. Yep, there we go, into the pits. That's going to be for a set of prime tyres. Oh, I thought he was going to hit the pit wall then. I know I mentioned to you we may see a few drivers scrape the pit wall, but I thought he was going for a head-on. If there's one head you don't want, that's it, the head of a wall. Rickster, he's continued on for another lap. Where's Dave the Harp going to come out? He's going to get passed by Acorn and K-Slay. There's K-Slay going past him now, so K-Slay holds his position. I think Acorn's called this possibly absolutely spot on, you know.
4th place, and it's just if it gets to the end of the race, that's just the one thing we hope for.
Yep. Now I think we could see Hindle pit in either this lap or the next lap. Hybrid Nuke in 2nd place, only 6 seconds behind his teammate. Car ahead of him is a lap down. Rickster now up to 3rd place. He's going to have to go for the pits. Is Hindle going to go for the pits on this lap? He could do. If he doesn't, and his teammate does, his teammate's going to gain 2, maybe 3 seconds on him. He's not going for the pits. He's continuing on. They can't go to the end. What's Hybrid Nuke going to do?
Oh, Paul's in the pits.
Hybrid Nuke isn't.
Continuing on. Rickster in 3rd place. He's got Acorn over the back of him.
Now, Acorn could do with getting past Rickster, but there Rickster goes into the pits. Said it would be on the card soon. And there it is. So that's going to put K-Slay up to 4th place. Dave the Harp up to 5th place. Richie Davey, he's going to gain as well. He's not that far behind Dave the Harp, you know. So Richie's now up to 6th place. His teammate, he's jumped Rickster as well. So Andy Russell's now up to 7th place. So Rickster with that pit stop goes from 3rd place down to 8th place, but he's safe from attack from the car behind because Adam 4600 is going to need to pit again. Oh, and that's what you call a bad pit entry. Now, Front Row Racing GP, he's in 10th place at the moment, running a set of option tyres, and he's right behind the race leader. And Hindle, he is continuing on for another lap. He's got no interest in pitting at the moment. Oh, K-Slay trying to get himself past Farfborough at the moment. And Paul finds himself in a bit of a blue flag situation, but Paul has recently pitted. He is on brand new option tyres, and if he is faster...
Oh, GP and Adam 4600 side by side going round turn 1 and 2. GP just managed to hang in there to get ahead of him. He's in 9th place.
Yeah, so that moves him up a position. Adam's not going to want to give it up too easy though. Now, did Adam pit? Is he on a brand new set of tyres?
Yes.
Yes, he is. That's a brand new set of option tyres, so he may be able to attack back a little bit later on. I tell you what, K-Slay has got Hybrid Nuke now in between himself and Farfborough. Hybrid Nuke has made a pit stop. For him to be where he is right now, he's made his final pit stop of the race. So Ray, keep an eye on Hindle, the race leader, because I think he will have either already made a stop or is about to do so. Now, Paul may have been faster than K-Slay on his current set of tyres, but it's doubtful he's going to be faster than Hybrid Nuke, so he's going to have to move out of the way for Hybrid Nuke, and the best thing Paul can do is just move out of the way. Okay, Hindle's in the pits. There's Hybrid Nuke basically saying, come on, out of the way, mate, out of the way. And Paul is kind of out of the way. Is he? No, he's not. There's been a collision. Hybrid Nuke has had a bit of contact. Now he's well out of the way, and Hybrid Nuke can try and focus on just pulling away from K-Slay, but to be honest, he hasn't really got much to worry about. He's faster in a straight line, he's on the better tyres, and Hindle is coming out of the pits now. And where is Acorn? Acorn, I tell you, is in 2nd place, and he's right behind Hindle. But he has been on these tyres for 5 laps already. He's not going to be able to keep pace with Hindle, I don't think. But he's just put himself in position for taking 2nd place off Hybrid Nuke, who, I have to say, is quite a few seconds down the road.
Yeah, 11 seconds. Yeah. What the hell? Sorry.
Well, we'll see what the gap is in the next sector, but I mean, Acorn, you can see the gap that Hindle's already pulled out on him. That's the benefit of those brand new tyres. It says that Acorn is 18 seconds off the leader. He's not. We'll need to get through a few sectors for that to sort itself out. 1.3 seconds.
Who's going to get the last place? Because you've got Hybrid Nuke, K-Slay, and then you'll have Dave the Harp. He's not that far back from these guys, so if he saves his tyres a bit of fuel, he could pressure at the end.
He definitely could. Hybrid Nuke is 8.8 seconds off the leader, meaning he is 7.5 seconds behind Acorn, but he is on brand new tyres. He's got to get the hammer down. He's got to go. He can see the car ahead in the distance. That's the gap he's got to make up in 3-4 laps, maybe 5 laps. 29, 28, 29, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 5 laps. So he needs a second a lap over Acorn. It ain't going to be easy.
Farbuff hasn't given Casey a good nice time. He's overtook him down into turn 1. Casey will be, come on! But if he feels he's faster, then he's got the opportunity to overtake and try and get a gap.
I mean, that's the thing. If you're in a blue flag situation, I mean, Paul's on option tyres, fresher option tyres than Casey's. It's a bit of an awkward situation because if Paul's faster on those tyres, he does have the right to stay ahead and pull away. But if he can't pull away, then he's got to move out of the way.
If that was the case, I would use Paul as the slipstream and the DRS zones to help bring me towards Hybrid Nuke.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. If Casey isn't fast enough to get past, then yes. The problem for Paul is he may end up getting a penalty for ignoring blue flags because he will be in a blue flag situation right now. So, yeah, he's going to have to be careful of that. If you're faster and you can pull away, do it. Pull away. You're going to end up getting penalties for ignoring blue flags. I mean, you can see the speed difference he's had, and there's a blue flag waving, but he does need to get a shift on. Okay, Acorn is now 3.2 seconds behind the leader. Hybrid Nuke, let's see what the gap is. It was still 8.8. It's still 8.8, so he's not catching the leader, but he is catching on Acorn. Oh. So, the gap between Hybrid Nuke and Acorn is now, what? 4 seconds. It's going to go right down to the wire, this one, you know. You can see Hybrid Nuke in the background. I think Acorn's pulled an absolute blinder here, and I can pretty much guarantee that Hybrid Nuke will be sat there thinking, what has just happened? What has happened? He perhaps expected to lose out to his teammate, but all the way through the race, Acorn's been nowhere near him.
Yeah, he's just pit strategy, isn't it? He's just done something different in his pit strategy and it's brought him back in. It's
worked for him. Now, with 3 laps to go, for the viewers, place your bets. Who do you think is going to be in second place? Who do you think is going to be in third place? Because Acorn's now 5.1 behind the leader. Hybrid 9.3 behind the leader, so it's still about 4 seconds. But where's Casey? He's not too far away. If Acorn's tyres hit the cliff and drop off drastically, Casey may just be close enough to capitalise. Right, Ray, while I keep an eye on this gap here, can you just have a look through the order, see if we've got anyone fighting it out for position?
Oh, we've got Richie Davey no, it's not for position. I just seen in the mirrors, somebody in Richie Davey's mirrors coming right up behind him. It's Rickster, it is for position. Why would it let me go on Rickster? He must have went for the overtake as I switched. Yep, Richie Davey and Rickster. Rickster's up into 6th place, Richie Davey's in 7th.
So that move has been made then. Okay, Hybrid Nuke. Let's see. Oh, he's close. He's closed that gap up. He's really closed that gap up. Acorn, he knows he's there. He knows that gap's coming down. There's not a lot he can do about it other than just keep on swimming. Driving. Or is it swimming? I don't know. Usually in the World Series it would be swimming because of how much it rains. But Acorn's now catching up to a car that could be Ant69, who is a lap down. But this is gonna get very close. I mean, Acorn, he's just losing so much time at the moment to the leader, given the tyre difference. 7.8 seconds. Hybrid Nuke 10.1 seconds. So it's down to 3 seconds. There's the gap, folks. Can Hybrid Nuke do it? Ray, Has anyone made a prediction?
No.
I don't know,
They
viewers.
made one earlier on before they said Hindle, Hybrid, and then Dave the Heart.
Oh, so Acorn has surprised everybody here. I tell you what, though, I think he may be a sitting duck down the start-finish straight at the start of the final lap. As Hybrid Nuke is just closing in on him in the braking zones, through the corners. Acorn's tyres have done 9 laps already. They're about to start their 10th. Whereas Hybrid Nukes have only done about 5-6 laps. So the move is going to be happening. It's within DRS range. But I tell you, Acorn's had a fantastic drive out of that final corner. But we saw earlier on Hybrid Nuke's fantastic straight line speed. Acorn's gone defensive. Doesn't want to give him the slipstream, but he hasn't really got much choice. Going to make him go the long way round. And Acorn's held the position for the time being. Hybrid Nuke, you're not going to have many more chances. Time to get it done, my friend. He may be able to here as Acorn's ran a little bit wide. Up the inside towards turn 4. And he's ahead. But Acorn's still fighting it. Understeer will kick in. And Hybrid Nuke manages to get ahead. Is Acorn going to chuck it up the inside? He is. He's looking. Oh, and a little bit of contact. That sent Acorn spinning around. Is he far enough ahead? Of 4th place, K-Slay, he may be safe. He may just be safe in 3rd place at the moment. But Hindle, he's on for taking the victory here. He's had it too easy.
Sorry, I'd like to apologise to viewer Millie Games. He said if Hybrid catches Acorn, remember this comment. So it must have been for Hybrid. Sorry, I didn't miss a comment. I thought it was for something else, but...
He called it, did he? Okay, Hindle round the final corner for the final time, and he takes victory here in Barcelona. A great win for him. His teammate's going to come home in 2nd place. It wasn't easy towards the end of the race, but 2nd place it will be. In 3rd place is Acorn. He may be a little disappointed about the spin, but... oh dear, it's going to be 3rd place for him. And then 4th and 5th, K-Slay. Great reserve drive for him. Dave the Harp in 5th place. 6th place, Rickster is just crossed the line. Then we've got 7th place, Richie Davey. I'm fairly sure he's done a 2-stop option prime. 7th place it'll be for him. 8th place, Andy Russell, his teammate. I'm not sure what strategy he went for because he started on the prime tyre. But he is on for an 8th place finish at this moment in time. And who do we have in 9th place? It's Front Row Racing GP. And after that crash with Farfba, it kind of ended both of their races in spectacular style. But at the moment, it's going to be in 9th place for Front Row Racing GP. I think we may then have Adam 4600. Oh, the Doctors signer's gone again. Yeah, I know it's a DRS, but it's funnier to say Doctors. Adam 4600 is in 10th place at the moment. And then I do know that his teammate may be in 12th. Farthber was 11th. And his Ant 69 in 12th. But we'll have a look at the grid order in a moment. As we now take a look at the Williams pairing, the Victoria's Secret teammates taken to the podium with Acorn 95 in 3rd place. A fantastic win there for Hindle. I think Hybrid Nuke's going to have a little bit of thinking to do about what's happened here in this race with how dominant his teammate was. But then the next race up is nothing like Spain because round 6 is at Monaco. But well done to Hindle, Hybrid Nuke and Acorn taking the provisional podium places. And as we have a look at the final order, Hindle, Hybrid Nuke, Acorn, K-Slay, Dave the Harp, Rickster, Richie Davey, Andy Russell from Racing GP and Adam 4600 complete the points scoring positions. They are all only provisional though, please remember that folks. A quick look at the old race director, 10 seconds, and this list is going to be absolutely enormous. It is in 10 seconds. I have to flick through it so quick we may still not even get to the end. We do just about, but there we go. A lot. But that does show the new strict ruling of that the FIA have brought in. Now, not many drivers got penalties there, but they still needed to be doing their ETL lifts. Now, I did mention that the result is provisional only. For any of the viewers who do want to keep tabs on what the confirmed race results are and the standings, then you're more than welcome to find the Front Row Racing Facebook page. We do race reviews and standings on a Tuesday. I know it's a few days after the race, but it gives the league, the race directors, the stewards and the drivers plenty of time to look through the footage, report stuff, get all incidents dealt with, sorted out, and then the results can be confirmed on a Tuesday. But also on the race highlights videos that we've been doing recently that are on YouTube, we are putting the confirmed results on those as well. But Ray, if you would like to invite Hindle, Hybrid Nuke and Acorn into the podium interviews... He has done so. While they scrub their heads with their towels, throw their caps at each other, and have a sip of water, I think I'll have a sip of coffee. Now, I have just seen that Acorn has joined us, and Hybrid Nuke and Hindle. So, welcome, gentlemen. Please make sure that you've got your microphones set to allowed to be shared. Acorn, if you could make sure you do check that one for us, because I think last time you were on the podium it didn't pick you up, I'm afraid. So yeah, if you could quickly check that in the party settings if you need to.
Sorted.
No problem. Hybrid and Hindle, if you can do the same, that would be absolutely great. And I'll tell you what, something different for the viewers. If you've got a question you would like us to ask the drivers here, post it up in the messages now, and I'll come to Ray in a few minutes' time for that. So, viewers, if you've got any questions, fire away. But we'll start off with Hindle, our race winner. It's too easy for you, mate, wasn't
it? I didn't have anyone battling me, but I still had to concentrate because these strict rules, I tell you what, I was struggling in practice, but I cleaned it up for the race, fortunately. But yeah, I wasn't under pressure at all during that race, apart from turn one. I mean, it looked like there was a bit of a jump start because I started to turn around and Dave Hart was at the side of me. Hang on a minute, what's going on here? But
maybe,
that, yeah, it's pretty simple.
Maybe he's got an old Schumacher launch start in that Mercedes. Quick question about qualifying. Did the temperature ruin any chance of getting into the 20s?
I think the track temperature was 20. Was it low? 21?
It started at 31 at the start of the session and did reduce.
Yeah. On a clear track, the temperature is about 41, isn't it? 42.
42, anywhere up to 48. So yeah.
I was still happy with a low 21 in them temperatures, but I was taking it very, very cautiously, especially in the last sector, because it's so easy to run over the white line there, and then that's your lap over.
Definitely is. Okay, now strategy-wise, you've done option, prime, option, I think it was. When you made that final stop, you came out... No, not the final stop. The second to last stop, you came out in a little bit of traffic. Was there any point where you're thinking, okay, hang on a minute, what are these guys doing? Because the car behind me is there for position, and they'd already stopped.
Well, I knew straight away that Casely was struggling, because as soon as I come out of the pits, I was all over the back of him. So I thought, as long as I get past him cleanly, which it took a few corners, but once I did, I pulled away, so it wasn't really much of an issue.
Okay, and on that final stop, you made your stop, and all of a sudden, Acorn is in second place. Did he kind of come out of nowhere on that one?
It was a big surprise, because when I went for I think it was the second stop, I was just behind Acorn, and he pitted, and I thought, well, he's got no chance if you've got to take the primes or the options to the end. And then a few laps passed, and he was still in second place. I remember saying, hang on a minute, what's going on here? Why is he in second place?
Well, that's a very good comment you make there, because we're going to come back to you in a few moments' time. Because Hybrid Nuke, I want to know exactly.
Yeah.
You make your final stop, and you're like, hang on a minute, where the bloody hell's he come from? Because he ain't been near me anywhere at any point in the race, and now I've got to go and catch up 6 seconds on him. So what was you thinking?
I was thinking I've got to go. I'll get this place. I mean, I've been fighting all race, so I'm saying to Hindle, I'm going, oh mate, it's 6 seconds up the road. He's gone. He's on this tyre for 10 laps. I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Right then.
we'll come back to that gap in a moment. Qualifying, there was a hint that you'd mentioned to the pit crew and the pit reporters that you may not be on the pace of Hindle today. So was third place start a disappointment, or was that okay?
I messed up on my lap, so I'm obviously disappointed about that. Probably could have got second. But no, I was happy with it. I wasn't fifth, so I wasn't down the field. So it was good.
Okay. First half of the race then. It was a bit of a battle. Dave the Harp, as Hindle mentioned, managed to get a good start up to second place. So, I mean, it was tough. So, talk us through a few moments of the first half of the race.
Dave the Harp just came flying out of nowhere before even the lights went out. We're going, hang on! So I was put into a battle with him straight away. Made to fight. Managed to get ahead, and then I see him and Casely fighting, and I think, good, I've got a lead. And then it ends up me and him fighting, and I have to say I'm actually impressed with his driving. Often when new drivers come in, I'm assured that when I came in, others were going, oh, here we go, another noob. But no, he drove very well next to me.
That boy can drive.
Congratulations to him.
Casely can drive. I think his
One
own.
to watch out next year.
Oh yeah, his only downside was perhaps that his strategy took him for the prime tyre at the end. Because once you'd all made your stops, I think you came out. Did you come out behind them? Yes, because you went option at the end, and they had to go primes at the end. I think you may have. No, sorry, you didn't come out behind them. You came out right in front of Casely, and right behind Farfba. You came out into a really tricky situation because I don't know if you knew it. What had happened was Kay and David pitted for the prime tyres, had been on them a few laps. Paul had pitted for a brand new set of options and was a little bit quicker than them and was trying to pull away. You then came out the pits right behind him and was faster than him, so he had to then move out of the way for you, which looked like it got a little bit messy. And that ruined his chance of pulling away from Casely and Dave, which then put him into another difficult situation. So yeah, all got a bit messy, but you managed to work around that. Okay, the last stint of the race, Acorn's up the road. You're working out, okay, he's got a long way to go. Was there a point where you're thinking, oh crap, I'm not going to get him?
Yes. I just constantly kept fiddling with my fuel and stuff like that, checking things, and I'd always do it in the last sector. I don't know why. So these sets of corners, I'm all over the road, and I'm going, no. And I think it was 32 or 31, lap 31, and I didn't gain anything, and I've gone, oh my god, no, please. But then, next lap I gained a few tenths in the first sector, and it's back on target.
Okay, you managed to get ahead of him. He fought it hard into turn one, and it was good, and it was clean, it was fair. He stayed ahead. He struggled a bit around turn three on the tyres. You managed to get up alongside turn four. You're just ahead towards turn five. Did you see what happened at turn five?
Right. I was ahead on my screen, clearly. I went into the corner, and I saw in my mirrors that he had spun out.
Okay, we'll leave that at the. We'll cut you off there. We'll cut you off there. We'll leave you on that comment. But to be fair, very well raced indeed. Acorn, on to you then. You surprised a few people here, mate. I tell you what, we'll start off with that little bit of contact. I mean, Hybrid, he's caught you quick. Your tyres are struggling. He's gone for the move. He's kind of got it done. And you did kind of have to go for it again in turn five to have any chance. So what was your view on that? Little bit of a spin, or does it not really matter? You still came third place, which was probably where you was going to end up anyway.
Yeah, I think you just said it. I mean, to Hindle, well done, mate. Hybrid, that thought that was really my fault, to be fair. I had to go for a late lunge, and like I say, it's just ended up with me spinning. But
Yeah,
as
no,
for
I
the
get it.
strategy, that was. I've done it before, so I kind of knew what to expect, but I was a bit disappointed with the start again. So if I had a good start, I might have maybe got second place, but
Yeah.
like I said, Hindle was too far up the road, I think.
Yeah. Well, as I said, I mean, you surprised a lot of people with that strategy because, I mean, I'm not sure exactly when you made your first stop. We know when you made your last stop. Obviously, it's a strategy you've worked on, but pretty much all the way through the race, you were not really in the fight, not really in that battle for first, second, third, fourth. And then all of a sudden, in the last stint of the race, everyone's like, "Hang on, where the bloody hell has he come from?" Because we even we gave the viewers the opportunity. Come on, right then, guys, who do you think's going to win? Who do you think's going to be the podium? And we all had a guess, and we got it very, very wrong. So, was that always the strategy that you were going to go for? Was there anything you could have done different, or was there anything that perhaps held you up in that race, or could have just gone a bit better for you?
I think the only thing I would have done different would have been, well, you can't really call the start because something, I think we've all said it, that Dave did get a bit of a better start than anybody else, and it kind of threw us all off a bit. But as for the strategy, I saw what happened yesterday, and I can't remember who won the race, but I think he did the same thing.
Jamie James, he did, yes, he did option prime, yeah.
Yeah, I think I did. Did I do option prime?
I don't know. You just did it. No, you did. You did. You did do option prime option.
Yeah, but it's like I said. I think I did a lot of 1:24s as well, so I think I was just keeping it within them lines really.
Okay.
It was like the last 4 laps that I was really struggling.
I mean, how much pressure or how tense was those last 4 or 5 laps when you realise he's pitted, he's got brand new tyres on, Hindle's already pitted, come out and just disappeared in front of you. So how tough on the mind and the sweaty t-shirt were those last 5 laps?
It's like I say, it came as a bit of a surprise to me as well. I mean, I was quite happy just to be in second place. I mean, I kind of thought Hybrid would catch me up at some point, and I weren't going to catch Hindle. He was too strong in that race. I was happy with the podium, but again, I had to go for that late lunge at the end.
Yeah.
I do apologise to Hybrid. That was more my fault.
No, it's fine, mate.
Well, nice to hear. Okay, just hang on a few moments, guys. Ray, have we had any questions come through from the viewers?
Yes, we have. Who's the #1 driver at Williams?
I knew you were going to ask this question. No one.
We have equal status.
The thing is, people said, "Oh, whoever's leading the championship is #1." Quite frankly, it's changed every single time we've raced. So, you know.
A little addition onto that. Obviously, you have a bit of a game plan. Try and pull away, then you can fight. Could it get messy if it comes down to a title fight later on in the season?
I don't know what you mean by messy. Nicking at each other. No, I think if you compare that, it's going to stay. You know, we're going to fight all the way through.
Good. Okay, Ray. Next question.
What were you thinking when Paul was trying to overtake you, Hybrid?
There were a few curse words. I'm not going to lie. I was a little bit surprised. But, yeah.
Okay, next
I got
question.
used to it from the safety car restart last week.
Yeah. Okay, next question.
That's the most from tonight. There's no other ones.
Okay, I've got one for Acorn. Monaco. Strong or hate it?
I think that's a question for the 2 up top, really. I think they could possibly touch in turn 1, and I'm gonna, you know what? I think I might just win this one.
Sounds good to me. Hybrid Nuke. Monaco. Strong or hate it? He hates it.
I like
Hindle.
He loves the barriers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love them barriers.
Come on then, answer the question.
I do like it, but in this league, the nature of Monaco, any one of these drivers can put it on pole at Monaco. If they get the right lap in, anyone can put it on pole at Monaco.
Yep.
Not much difference between anyone at Monaco in terms of that.
Definitely.
And whoever can keep the front wing, basically.
That's one of the things with Monaco. The person who wins the race could quite easily be the person who loses the least amount of front wings. It could come down to that. It could come down to that. Okay, we're going to bring it to an end now. Bring the live stream to an end now. So thank you very much, drivers, for joining us for the podium interviews, and very well done. Well done, and thank you to all of the other drivers on the grid. Thank you very much to the viewers. As I mentioned earlier on, you can catch up with the race reviews and standings confirmations on a Tuesday on the Front Row Racing Facebook page. Next up on the Front Row Racing YouTube channel will be tomorrow evening at 7:30 for the FRRI Days Cup Round 6 at Monaco, and that is the feeder series into our F1 leagues. That's where Kay Slay has come from to take a reserve drive this evening. Then after that will be the Project Cars Friday race at about 9 o'clock. Next up for the World Series, as already mentioned a few times, is Round 6 at Monaco, and that'll be next Thursday at 7:30 p.m. So, thank you very much, everyone. Ray, thank you very much for joining us in the commentary box and in the pit lane.
No, thank you, and thank you to the viewers for giving me some information or questions to ask. Keep them coming every time I'm on. I'll get to them.
Yep, thank you very much, everyone. We've been Front Row Racing, and we'll see you all again soon. Now get ready for Hybrid to go. Bye!
Bye!
Bye.